sitting out on my patio, just trying to find a good spot for the camera. And there's of course airplanes and outside noises. It's just how it is. But I thought I'd record a little video. I'm working on these socks and I think they are so much fun. Look at those. Aren't they cute? I finished the first one already. I think I left it inside. But I'm using my Author's Color Library, the Rainbow Edit, to make these. And it's fun. I've taken my cuff, the same cuff I use in my candy floss sock pattern. And then I've added these little eyelets on the first row of each color change. And I love how they're turning out. So I'm working on my gusset decreases now. And I love them. They're so fun. So yeah. Summer sock camp, of course, is going on now. And it was super fun. My sister Deborah and I went to a movie on, what was it? It was a week ago Friday. So it was the day summer sock camp started. We went and saw, what is it called? If. It's the one by John Krasinski, Imaginary Friends. It's cute, cute movie. And we went to a 9 a.m. showing. So we were the only ones in the theater. And it was perfect. So we both took our summer sock camp cast on projects and we didn't even worry about having lights, like knitting lights. I used the light on my phone. It actually worked great. I used the light on my phone and I just stuck my phone in my shirt and I had a t-shirt on and it was enough that it like just shined right through it. So I had some light, but not too much light to like annoy me. And we both cast on socks. Sorry for the airplane noise. And watched our movie and just enjoyed it. It was lovely. It was super fun. So I've got this pair of socks and then I have this one that I'm working on. And then I have another pair, the pair that I cast on there. I'll have to show you. I'll record more tomorrow. But I've just been kind of doing little bits of video. Earlier I showed you our roses. Our roses out front are just going bananas. They're huge and they're just blooming and blooming and blooming. It's such perfect rose time right now. Everywhere we look, everywhere we drive, there's roses everywhere. And also I think I put in some pictures or video of our little flower pots. And Abby set up our fairies in our flower pots. So that's kind of fun. The weather has been definitely turning to summer now. It's been very pleasant, but it's gonna start getting hot this week. So not my favorite. I do not look forward to that. Yeah, I'm a spring and fall girl. Summer wears me out. It's just exhausting to deal with the heat. And then it's just so busy. But the weather is wonderful right now. I'm trying to think of other things. I have so much to talk about. Oh, we had Adam's first birthday. He's 1 now. And so we celebrated his first birthday the other day. And he was so cute. He's such a tiny little guy. He's still so little. He's definitely on the small side. Healthy, but tiny. And growing. And, you know, on a good growth curve. But just, he started out really little and he's just stayed really small. Anyway, he's just cutest little pipsqueak. And his mama, Aria, and his daddy, Michael, they put on such a cute party for him. and it was chaos. There were a million people there, but it was super fun, and Aria was so happy. She thrives in that. The more people around her, the better. And especially, this is kind of the first big thing they hosted at their new house. They've had people over for dinner and stuff, but it was different than like having a big party. And so it really just made her so happy to be hosting, and it was really cute. And yeah, he was just adorable. And we also had Memorial Day, and usually the Sunday before Memorial Day, the day before, we get together with my parents and we go to one of the cemeteries where my dad's mom and dad are, and I have a brother and a sister who both passed away as newborns. And so their graves, those 4 graves are there. And we usually go to that one and, you know, take care. We clean up their headstones, like trim them and polish them and make sure everything's in good repair, and take flowers and talk about our remembrances. And then we'll usually have a barbecue afterward. And so we were going to do that, and then we were going to host a barbecue here, but I woke up that morning with a migraine, and it just would not calm down, and I ended up having to cancel, and I didn't go. But on Saturday, we were able to go and visit those graves, and then we had our kids over and we barbecued. I said on Saturday, on Monday, on Memorial Day. And then we barbecued that night, and it was just lovely. So that was nice. Trying to think of anything else interesting to talk about. My mom and I went and got our nails done, and we usually go first thing in the morning when they first open. And this time my lady Julie, she needed to do it a little bit later, and so it worked out to be perfect timing, so that we ended up going to lunch afterward, and that was really fun. We got manicures and pedicures and just enjoyed a lunch together, and my nails turned out really cute. I went with this art deco look, so there you go. That was pretty fun. So that's kind of the life update for the last little bit. The next 2 weeks of Heroic Youth are absolute mania. So it's going to be super busy. But I have something so fun this week coming up. So I talk about my knitting group all the time, and it's because it's just such a wonderful group. we just love each other, and we get along so well, and everybody is just so lovely. And we laugh a lot together and just really enjoy each other. And I've talked before quite extensively about our secret swap that we do, but in June we do our unbirthday party. And the reason I tell you about these things is to maybe give you ideas about things you could do with a knitting group, and to give you courage. If you don't have a knitting group, start one. It takes time to find your people, but don't be afraid to start one. Just start reaching out. Ask around at your local yarn store and see if anybody else is looking for a knitting group, or join most local yarn stores have like a stitching night, and that could be a great place to meet people and maybe start finding your group. But the only reason we have our knitting group is because Deborah started one. We just took the plunge and did it. Anyway, so our unbirthday party, we don't celebrate everybody's birthdays through the year. We just do it all at our unbirthday party. And so in June, for our knit night, we all bring the idea behind it is something that's your favorite things. What are your favorite things? And you put together a gift, and then we do an exchange that's like white elephant style, but it's all nice gifts. It's not like gag gifts. And it's just super fun. So you can dress up if you want. You could dress up Alice in Wonderland style, and Deborah always hosts this one. So we'll have dinner, and just exchange these gifts, and it's just super fun. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm excited to share my gift that I am gonna give. So that'll be fun. So anyway, I'll record some more hopefully tomorrow and show you more projects I'm working on. Hi, so it's Monday and I am excited to show you more of my projects. First, let me show you those socks that I was working on yesterday. Here is my finished one. Isn't that fun? I love it so much. I love how it's turned out. And like I said before, it has this braided cuff at the top. And then at the row changes or the color changes, I've used this little eyelet pattern. And I love how it turned out. It's so cute. It's just like a rainbow and puffy clouds, you know. So fun. So that's the first one. And then I showed you where I was. I've gotten a little bit farther, but not much on the yellow. So just working on that yellow section, almost done with my gusset decreases. Actually, I think I did just finish the yellow. Yes, I finished the yellow. So I need to change and do the white stripe. And I think once I finish the white stripe, that'll finish my gusset decreases, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Anyway, so fun. So that's the one pair of socks I'm working on. And like I said, I'm using our rainbow colors. So let me show you those because these are in the shop right now. It's crinkly because it's in plastic. But I've got our Author's Color Library. These are our mini packs. They each have 7 20-gram mini skeins. And right now we have 2 of the packs out. So we have the rainbow pack, and that one includes Bloom, Christie, Dahl, Montgomery, Seuss, Whitman, and Lewis. Diverse authors for sure. And it comes in, and you won't be able to see probably the difference, but it comes in biography and in sparkle, which, you know, plastic and on video, you're probably not gonna be able to see the sparkle. Sci-fi sparkle. So that's that mini pack. It also comes in the shawl kit, which includes a skein of parchment. And that's what I'm using for my sock. So either on biography or on sparkle. It never shows. Oh, maybe you can see the sparkles a tiny bit. It's gold sparkle, which is my favorite. And then the other pack that we currently have in stock is our neutrals pack. I'm holding it at an angle to try and decrease the glare on the plastic. And the neutrals has Hugo, Poe, Hemingway, Burnett, Twain, Eliot, and L'Amour. Eliot's a new author's color, and it's also listed separately, just like all the rest of the authors are. And also available in sparkle and biography. And you can get that just as the minis or the shawl kit as well. So speaking of the shawl, this is going to be an all over the place podcast. The Rainbow Bridge shawl is now out. I published that, and it's just so fun. It's so much fun to make. It's so enjoyable because for most of the shawl, all the body of the shawl, it's just fun garter stitch, but you get the color changes and you get the shaping along the bottom. So you have to pay a tiny bit of attention, but not really much. So you can just really enjoy picking 7 mini skeins or using one of our packs and making the body of the shawl. And then you pick up and knit the border on. And that is, I really enjoy doing a knitted on border, especially when it's not too wide and it's not in lace weight. I've done that before. If any of you used to watch Meanwhile at the Castle, you may remember the Shawl of Death, which is one of the most beautiful things I've ever made. But anyway, but the knitted on borders are so fun. So Yeah, Rainbow Bridge is out, and I think this would be amazing in the neutrals pack. Wouldn't it? I think it would just be stunning. Oh, can you imagine that in this pack? That would be gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. So, oh, so much fun. We will have a third author's color library set, mini skein set, that will be coming out. It'll be by the end of June, but it's not, and it's going to be called the Romance pack. So we'll have the neutrals, rainbows, and romances. Those will be the 3 packs we'll have. And that one is going to be a mix of blues and purples, and it's got some peach and some green in it. It's just really pretty. So, yeah. So those are those socks. I love them. And yeah, I just absolutely love these so much. I'll have this pattern written up and available not too long from now. But you could just do striped socks as well. I love the combination of the eyelets and the, what am I trying to say? It's like a mock cable at the top because it gives it that cloud look. I just think it adds some fun interest to it. So that is really enjoyable. I have these in my So Sweet Violet Rainbow Liberty bag. Isn't that fun? This has been one of my favorite bags. I use it all the time. It's got her cute label on it. Such a fun bag. All right. The other pair of socks that I'm working on, these are the ones I cast on at the movie. And I'm knitting these in Candy Shop yarns. And what is the colorway? I think it's called Christmas Cookies. Oh, Cookies for Santa. So here's the label. It says Cookies for Santa. This is her simple syrup sock set. And even though it's a Christmas named colorway, and I can definitely see enjoying this for Christmas, I would not call this a Christmas color. In fact, when I first started it, my nails matched it perfectly. So I finished the first sock. Isn't that cute? As usual, the pink is showing up at a much higher contrast than it is in person, but it is pretty bright and fun. It's got this little bit of kind of tan, that baked cookie on a nice cream colored base with greens and turquoises speckled through, and then these pink blotches that I love. So that was Abby going upstairs. She's in her pajamas. Being a teenager in the summer is all about sleeping in, isn't it? And then I'm this far on the second sock. Isn't that fun? I'm pretty sure this is also a So Sweet Violet Progress Keeper. But I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's from So Sweet Violet. It looks like something that Jules would make. Come on, focus in. Nope, not gonna focus. Just wants to see my face. There we go. Isn't that fun? I haven't knit a pair of vanilla socks that weren't like self-striping yarn for a while, and I'm really enjoying it. So the bag I have this in is from Delightful Works. Let me tidy this away. And I bought this bag. It's a camping themed bag. And I purchased this in 2022, and then I got this summer sock camp patch and added it to the bag. So this is from 2 years ago, but I still like to get it out. I got it out last year for summer sock camp, and then again this year. It's just kind of a fun thing to have. So I haven't woven in ends or blocked it yet, but I did finish the first sock. I think I finished it Yes, yeah, I think it was yesterday or maybe Saturday. Aren't those cute though? I thought they were super fun. As usual for me, I knit my socks with 64 stitch count, and I prefer a 2x2 rib. I just prefer knitting a 2x2 rib. So when I'm just kind of in like my very basic vanilla sock recipe, I do a 2x2 rib for 20 rounds. And then I'll knit anywhere from 60 to 70 rows for my leg. Just depends on the mood I'm in. And I'd like a slip stitch heel with a heel turn, a gusset, and then I like to do my color changes. If I'm doing a contrast toe, I like to do my color change at least 5 rows before I start the toe. Sometimes I'll do 10, like on those rainbow socks I just showed you. And I just like the look of that on my foot to have a deeper contrast toe. Anyway, and then I do a rounded wedge toe. And when I do my Kitchener stitch, I never, for a toe, now I can't, this is not in other cases, but for a toe, I never do the setup rounds. And I haven't woven in these ends, so this little bump right here will tighten in a little bit more once I weave in those ends. But I think it gives me a little bit smoother of a toe. There's still the tiniest little blip there and there, but I don't end up with major rabbit ears at the ends. And I've never have any issues with holes or gaps or anything there. And so that's how I do my Kitchener stitch. I don't do the setup rows. I just immediately start in to I always say it in my head, knit one off, slip one on, slip one off, knit one on. And that's how I remember Kitchener stitch. Knit off, slip on, slip off, knit on, knit off, slip on, or knit off, purl on. That's what I meant to say. Purl off, knit on. I don't know why I was saying slip. Anyway, and I just start right into that without doing those setup rows. So that's my second socks. My second pair of socks for summer sock camp in the works. Okay. Frustrating works in progress. I do have a finished object. I'm so excited to show you. So I've been working on this tee that I'm designing, and I showed it to you last time, and I wasn't even to the dividing for the sleeves yet. And I just didn't like how the lace medallion was working. I didn't really love how wide the neck was. And so I decided I wanted to go back and do a provisional cast on, and then so you can actually then pick up and knit your neckband, and it gives you a lot more control over how, like, you can try it on and see how you want your neckband to fit. So you can either knit it deeper, like knit a deeper rib, or you can adjust the tension for your bind off to give it more stability at the neckline. And then I also reworked the way that I did the lace medallion just slightly. And now that I have it to here, I don't love the scale of the medallion. I think it needs to be much bigger. I think it needs to be like a lot bigger. Double the size at least. But I have divided for the sleeves, and I'm doing this fun little lace panel. Let's see if I can show it better. Lace panel down the side seam, which will also come up and do on the underarm. It'll just be a little hidden lacy spot in the underarm as well. But I don't love the lace medallion. It needs to be a lot bigger. So now I'm at a point where I've knit this much of a sweater, and I'm thinking maybe I need to go back and rip it all out again and redo it. But I can't decide if I'm going to do that or if I'm just going to finish it and make sure all my numbers are correct. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish it as it is. Then I can double and triple check the fit of the sweater. And then at least that way I'm not ripping all of this out with the idea that I may still end up ripping it out for fit. Yeah, that makes way more sense. So I'm going to finish it up. I did a quick little steam block on it because this top little section, I had been knitting with the yarn that I'd previously unraveled. And so it was really squidgy and it was looking horrible. That's normal. So I did a quick steam block to make sure that was going to block out okay. And of course it's not perfect, but you know, with a good soak, I think it will be. But I'm still not happy with that lace medallion. You know, if I were smart, I would have just knit a swatch of the lace medallion. I swatched for size, but I didn't swatch the lace medallion because why would you be that smart? I think it's going to be a beautiful tee. Once I get these little details, these little wrinkles ironed out or blocked out, if you will, then it's going to be great. But right now it's in timeout for a minute. So I'll come back to it. But I am going to finish it. I decided I'm going to finish it and check it for fit and make sure that all my grading and everything that I've done is correct. And then I will rework that lace medallion to be a better gauge, and I'll have to knit a second one, which is fine. That is totally fine. I can do that. So I have a finished object. Believe it or not, I have finished my Bantam shawl. My Bantam scarf is what I ended up doing. So I started this in March, and it's a crochet scarf, which crochet can be much faster, but anyway, it took me longer. But I love how it turned out, and I'm trying to make sure I'm showing you the right side, which is this side. So it's all beautifully blocked. Look at this. And I'm dumping things on the floor. Okay. It's so pretty. And that's where I decided to end it. So I think I had actually just shown it with some of this pink done last time, and I was going to add 1 or 2 colors to the end. I did add this color, and I didn't like it at all. This is such a cute, fun, bright color, but in crochet, it didn't end up translating. At least it certainly didn't go with the rest. I thought it would just be a fun way to transition into like the soft peachy and then kind of a bright peachy one and then into a more pink one, but it just didn't go. And so I ended up pulling it out and I thought, well, what am I going to put in its place? And then I really took a good look at it and tried it on and realized I don't need any more length at all. I've got plenty of length here to really enjoy this scarf in the size that it is. And it's perfect as is. So I went and wove in the rest of the ends and I blocked it and it just turned out so beautiful. Isn't it so pretty? So this pattern is by Addie Day and it is called the Bantam. It's called Bantam. It's a crochet wrap or scarf. And I did the scarf width. I used, what hook did I use? A USG, which is a 4mm hook. That's my hook. Make sure, am I telling you anything else about the pattern? It's called Bantam, Deanne Ramsey, which is addieday.com. It looks like this came out in 2019. And I was using mini skeins, that I got in a swap that I did with my friend Sina for an Easter countdown. And we had agreed in our little group that did this swap to do 12 mini skeins. It was a 15-day countdown, but we said it needed to have at least 12. And I'm trying to remember, I think that there were 12. There might have been 15. I honestly, see, this is why I need to write everything down, but I don't always, and I can't remember. Those are all the colors. I didn't use all the colors, but all the ones that are in here did come from that swap. I keep putting my basket on top of this shawl so that when I move the shawl, it knocks things over. Anyway, I do have a few left. So I have this really beautiful one left. I have this one. So obviously we did more than 12. I've got this one. Oh, that one's so cute. The one I just showed you. And then I have another blue right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I have left. And how many did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, oh, nope, there's one more. There was another bluey purple one. So it looks like I had 14. The main color, or yeah, this one, it's reading just white here. I don't know if that's going to focus. It is a very, very soft blush pink with little blue speckles. And this yarn is from Hobby Lobby. It's a Yarn Bee hand dyed. Oh, here, I have a label. It's Yarn Bee authentic hand dyed. And the color is flamenco. Like the dancers, I guess. It was originally $15.99. I got it on 50% off, I think. It might have even been 60% off. And this one is, it's 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, 400 yards, and it's 100% superwash merino wool. So I have a whole bunch of this. I used one whole skein, and then I haven't weighed this, but I'd guess there's probably a good 80 grams left of it, maybe 70, 80. So I used, 1 1/3-ish skeins for this size. So let's see, again, total number of stripes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 7 colored stripes, and then there's the main color stripe in between each one. And I think that turned out great. So that means there would be 8, right? 1, 2, 3. I can do math. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so a total of 15 sections. And I think it's beautiful. I think that if you have an idea that you're going to have a perfectly straight edge, you're not. It is a wavy edge. I am fine with that, especially because when you're wearing a scarf, you're wearing it all wrapped up. But the pattern, I feel like the way that the photo looks, it shows, and I don't have the photo right here. I'll put a photo here. The way the photo looks on the pattern, if you just glance at it, it looks like it's going to be a perfectly clean straight edge. But if you look closer, you can see the places where it's tucking in. And so, because there's these little dips. Come on. Yeah. Wherever you have this section, it dips in right there. Or maybe it's just that it curves out. Well, either way, it definitely has that kind of a shape to it. So you get this gentle kind of wave shape to it. Just go with it. It's beautiful. I think it's just so pretty. So I won't be getting a lot of use out of that right now, but you can bet that in the winter I will be. It's so pretty. And it's got such a lovely weight and drape to it. It's got just enough, you know, open texture, and yeah, it's just lovely. Now I should say, again, I only have one part of the pattern in front of me. Oh, you know what? Here's the photo. I don't know if that's going to show up well. Let me see if I can get that to show up. Yeah. And of course, if you look closely, you can see the waves happening there. But just like at first glance, it kind of looks like it's all really straight. Again, it doesn't matter, but if that is something that would bother you, that's something you should be aware of. Do I have I don't have the hook size on the page that I kept out here. My guess is that I went down a hook size because I tend to be a loose crocheter. And so I'm pretty sure I went down a hook size. I could be wrong on that. So you'll want to double check that, but that's something to think about. It may not call for the hook that I used, the 4mm, the G. It might have called, in fact, I think it did. In fact, now that I think about it, it calls for 2 hook sizes. She says that when she crochets this, that on some of the return rows, she switches to a larger hook because, or down a hook, anyway, to a different size hook because she has a tendency to work it at a slightly different gauge. I didn't do that. I used one hook throughout the whole thing, but she did use a larger hook than I did. I remember that now. One thing I have to show you is this cute little Notions pouch. Isn't that darling? There is the pharmacy that I go to for one of my medications is a compounding pharmacy. It is this place that's been there for a million years. And it's just a pharmacy, but it has this one end of the store where there's this adorable little gift shop. And so anytime I go in there and pick up my prescription, which is like once every 3 months, I always have to look. And I saw this cute little pouch. And at the time I was listening to The Secret Garden and I just had to get it. I was just in this mood of gardening and early spring, and it was just so cute. It's got this cute green on the back, just a linen. Anyway, I immediately brought that home and filled it up and started using it, and it's perfect. And I have my favorite hand cream, which is a Cath Kidston Christmas hand cream. I live in the US. You can't get Cath Kidston here. I have to like find it, and it's a Christmas one, and it doesn't smell particularly Christmassy to me. I want to use it all the time, but I get it every once in a while. I think those are all my projects right now. I just have the 2 pair of socks that are on the needles, and then the tee that I am working on. And I'm happy I made a decision there on what to do with it because that was really just hanging in my mind. I'm gonna finish it, and then I'm gonna actually swatch for the medallion like a smart purse. Make sure I really love it. And then I should be able to put all the details and write up the whole pattern. I mean, it's like, you know, a bunch of notes and then a spreadsheets of numbers right now. Write up the whole pattern and then knit one more sample and then test knit it. So who knows when it'll be done. Oh, who knows? But I'm also going to get that other sock pattern out. So that'll be a fun thing. In the shop right now, little shop news, we have our rainbow pack, our neutrals pack, and our shawl kits. We've added Elliot as our new colorway. I still have summer book fair colors. That has been so fun, and you guys have been loving it, especially Babysitters Club. That one I can't keep in stock, so that's been really fun. We've got that going on, and we'll be working on our new florals edit of our minis packs, our color library. The whole idea is you can build your own color library. As a homeschooling family and avid readers, that was something that my husband and I both decided fairly early on, is that we wanted to have a good library. This is only about half of our library, which is, by the way, in major disarray. I'm needing a good sort and organize. So I'm glad that it's kind of blurring out the background a little, but that's about half of our library. We try really hard to add books that we know we're going to want to come back to again and again. We really want to be part of our kids' lives. And so I've always been in this library builder mindset. And we read way more books than what we have here. Like we love Audible, we love our local library, we love Kindle. We kind of read in all different areas. Especially Abby and I, we are the most ridiculous. We compete with each other for our reading. But just like you might want to build your library, you might want to build your color library, because you know what? You can have the perfect contrast color for anything you need, especially once we get our next pack out. That'll be the kind of mid-ground between these two. So, yep. All right. Well, I hope your June is amazing. I said earlier that Heroic Youth is going bonkers right now. It's just our busy season. We start into our training season, where we meet with our youth, all of our youth leaders, multiple times every month. And we have all kinds of things we have to prepare for each one of those meetings, plus meetings to plan our big events at the end of the summer. And we film videos and meet with other committee leaders. So we've just got stuff going on all summer long that's really busy. And this next 2 weeks is kind of a big crunch time. So I'm not quite sure when I will podcast again. I hope I can keep it relatively, at least every 2 weeks. I'd prefer to do it every week, but that hasn't been happening. But in the meantime, June is here. We're in full swing of summer sock camp, and I would love to hear what your summer projects are. Some of you have told me that you're doing summer sock camp, but do you have other things that you're working on? Maybe they're not even knitting or crochet related. Maybe you've got a health goal you're working on, or a house project that you're doing, or a reading goal, or lots of other things. Gardening. I'd love to hear what you're doing. So share your summer projects down below. Please leave a comment and let me know what you're working on. And I would love to go and read those. I always feel at the beginning of June, which, by the way, in my mind, are you this way? For me, summer starts with Memorial Day, which is the last Monday in May for us in the US. And it ends with Labor Day, which is the first Monday in September. That's summer, right? It's basically June, July, and August. I don't worry about what the calendar says, like when the solstice is or whatever, but those are the summer months. But I always feel at the beginning of the summer, like super excited about the idea of gardening and spending lots of time outside. And then as soon as it gets hot, I'm like, I'm an inside cat. This girl is staying in the air conditioning. Give me a fan and an iced beverage and a crime drama, and I'm good. So I don't know. I always want to spend more time outside in the summer, but I'm just such a wimp when it comes to the heat. So I think about all of you who deal with way hotter temperatures than what we have here in Utah. It gets hot. I mean, it gets over 100 many, many days in the summer, but it's not humid at all. And so it's way more bearable. But I just think about all of you who deal with the heat for many more months, who have high humidity, and hats off to you for making it through. What are your tricks to get yourself through the heat? That's what I need to know, because it's going to hit 90 this week. 90 Fahrenheit. And to me, that's the beginning of the air conditioning hibernation. Even, in fact, on my calendar, I believe it's July 17th is marked in my calendar every year as Happy Air Conditioning Day. That was the day that air conditioning was invented. At least probably put into great use. I don't know if that's the exact day, but I consider that it's the day, right? So anyway, enjoy your air conditioning if you have it. And if you don't, best wishes to you. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I hope you're staying warm as it's getting colder. So good luck to you with this June, and I hope I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.